the internet is gonna fucking work out here, but I wanted to go on Instagram Live, so here I am. Don't expect anything from me. I'm gonna talk a bit today. It's not premeditated, or I ain't really thought about it, but I think I got some momentum in my mind about. I want to speak about the conscious rapper community and the festivals we've been doing over the summer. Fucking hell, mate. Oh, hi, Michael. Yeah, just hopping on live, and I wanted to just like fucking process some ideas about the conscious rapper community and stuff, so I thought I'd hop on here. I don't even know if I have internet out here super much, but yeah, don't expect anything from me. No one's got to stay. I'm just gonna process some ideas because I really want to get the momentum going, basically. Like in terms of the CRC, what it is, where it's like the horizons for the CRC's expansion, which is the conscious rapper community. If you search that up, you can find us. And basically the horizons of the expansion are infinite. Not just like the CRC, but also like-minded, yet to be like brands and names that could be around the CRC, whether or not it's festivals, or the different workshops at the festivals. It's like the interconnected web of like the mass awakening type shit. And yeah, it's infinite, where like the potential is really waiting on those in the team, including myself, to basically take action. And that's somewhat what I'm trying to do today. Somewhat is like, I really want to get cultivating the contrast that I'm destined to embody. Yo man, big love. I assume that's Michael on the Conscious Rapper Community account. Michael DeSouza. I think I got it right now. I don't say Souza anymore. No, I got it wrong. Michael D'Souza. Sorry, fuck's sake. I was getting there. I'm getting there. I ain't fucked it up for a long time. Fucking took me longer than I thought. Anyway, so yeah, basically this like, it's almost like, not that you have to just be obsessed with infinite expansion and growth for no reason, but like, we ain't even nearly hit like the peak yet, where like, the CRC has got so much momentum. It's definitely a gap in the market, and it is destined for success because it's already succeeded. It was like literally so like meant to be the way it happened. And like, there's so many of us who are on board with it. So we just got back from just got back from fucking Sal's Beautiful Festival, and yeah, it's so cool to be like, I walked up to the group where all the tents are, and I'm like, oh, all of my favourite people in one place. We were speaking about how there's like 20 plus like conscious rappers nearly, like all like camping together and stuff, and rapping on stage. And it's like, that's the momentum of it. Is I think I remember Flowmatic or Ollie saying that like, so many people constantly thinking and visualizing about the conscious rapper community is partly why it's like destined for success, and why it will inevitably continue to expand and grow. It's like, just because it's like we're collectively manifesting it, because so many people are constantly thinking about the mission and the message and how to expand it. We've got so many ideas, and yeah, the growth is just like infinite, literally. And like, I met Richard Vobes at Sound's Beautiful Festival as well, and he actually raised the question, and I recorded his whole talk, like a 40-minute 4K video, so that should hopefully be public soon, or I'm going to send him a private link to it first. I told him about it. He said, hit him up on WeTransfer and things. But anyway, he proposed a question, which was a good question, which is basically like, what the fuck are we going to do in terms of like the talk is cheap type thing, where it's like, how do you bridge the gap between the talk that I'm doing on here and the talks that Richard Vobes does on his account, bridge that gap with actually like the grounded New Earth Actualization. Search that on Instagram. I got an account under that name, which is like a meme compilation of and just information around that sort of stuff. And I replied to him like it's because people are not raising the questions of like, what actions shall we take, that like, that's like kind of ironically, paradoxically, why people are not taking more action. When Richard said like, basically like, what do we do, what, like, but he was saying about Hope Sussex Community, which he's done a podcast with, and also Inspector Veg has been on there quite a bit. And Hope Sussex was at Stand in the Light Festival in fucking, what is going on with my brain today? Fucking in Wales. I can't even remember exactly, to be fair. I mean, I didn't drive it. But anyway, let me hurry the fuck up. fucking yeah, I hope Success was at that festival with the conscious rapper community as well, and gain momentum with it, and soup up the value and get back into the podcast like I used to do. But yeah, we need to have more of these conversations about basically what it is so those who were at this wellness festival recently, Sounds Beautiful Festival, or any of them. There's Elevate Festival, which I went to like nearly a year ago. That was the first one I went to, and they're so life-changing. Like, there's workshops everywhere. I was grounding for like 4 days straight. I didn't even wear my shoes because we're just living in nature. You're getting energy from the earth, and like you're surrounded by like-minded conscious people, and it's important to get in touch with that, because being gaslit by like the brainwashed Western Babylon culture can like give you a fucking mental illness. You need to connect with like-minded people, yeah. Right, so what I was saying is, basically, get this, if I don't know who's still in the chat, if Michael is or who, but yeah, so get this, yeah. So basically, when you're walking around your hometown, right, so we've come back from this festival, yeah, like yesterday I was walking like and I almost got this insight of the contrast of, imagine being at the festivals and then being here, like in the new estate grid type stuff or whatever you may be in, right? And really contrast like the different values of like, right, so at Stand in the Light Festival there was a major storm. We stood in the storm, and it made me value and appreciate more like somewhat of the Babylon structures of the really hench houses that obviously can't just get blown away by the wind. So like I was almost imagining if I was at the festival still, but the houses were built on the festival land, almost as like I was still there, but like almost as if I just walked around the corner in a way. But what I mean is, like, we need to find like a middle ground of like not either ideology to the extreme, but like a middle ground in terms of because I was thinking while I was at the festival as well, like if we had places to live more, like cabins, it could be more forever festival vibes, which is what we're aiming for, which is like mass awakening, information revolution stuff. Of always having the conscious music going and having that spirit like in nature, the music, the fire, the breathing, the sovereignty, the growing our own food, and like basically contrast like why do a lot of the NPCs and the brainwashed people, they're like, oh, I don't want to just live in a bush. When we're on about the New Earth Actualization shit, yeah, they think that they need a house and be tied down to the slavery rent cycle. Which I feel like people don't realise, like, you get ripped off all your life and lied to that you're getting ripped off, and you end up like age 40, 50 with fuck all. And it's like, when are you going to realise that you've been ripped the fuck off and lied to your whole life? Like, you're working a job and you actually ain't got shit after like your whole life working, like, in a weird way. Anyway, I don't mean to branch off and rant, but what I'm saying is, like, so we got power at these festivals. We got solar panels, we can grow our own food often. There's obviously still shops and shit around, like, all that's still online. But, like, fucking, like, there's nothing stopping us from living there. And if there was, what are those limits? In contrast to, like, what does society and the system provide in contrast to what the festival provides? Like, what limits are there at the festival, and what limits are there at home, and how can we kind of, like, blur the lines or thin that line and like bridge the gap, or like kind of meet like middle way somewhat, where it's not like one extreme or the other, it's like somewhere in the middle, I guess. Might be kind of hard to articulate. I think my brain might be lagging a bit, so yeah, sorry, don't expect anything from me. I didn't really prepare. I think I should have done more breath work, and I've had a bit of a tough morning and shit as well. I'm still fighting my demons quite hard, but this is going to help me anyway. I'm going to get more like way more momentum and way more like practical, and like just shit, like just doing things of this nature and getting feedback and just having these conversations is important. And I want to just like build and expand like what I've been doing, but just like, yeah, just up the quality in that. But yeah, do you kind of get what I mean by what I was saying with that? Fucking, like, why do you have to leave the festival location? Maybe they don't want it to be disclosed in that video, but like, yeah, just like researching eco-villages, permaculture, solar punk, and alternative cultures, ayahuasca retreats, and like research that, get people to film it through the digital portal, and then contrast that with the other cultures, and then just ask a lot of questions, question everything, like why are some cultures more in poverty than other cultures, and like where does the poverty actually come from? Like for me, like Gaza, intuitively I don't understand how you can have so much land that is like just rubble, dust, sand, desert, and like where like basically I think we should have like a proper permaculture revolution, eco-village thing, where like we can reverse the artificial scarcity that is being like tyrannically enforced on everybody, that we're being gaslit about, where like we can grow infinite abundance of so much more stuff, even in greenhouses, or like we have the technology to do that. So I don't really understand why we are selling ourselves so short as a species. I think a lot of it is like greed and war and things like, and see, a lot of this, it has to stem from the belief that there is hope. I don't fuck with people who don't really think that there's a chance. Like some people and some of my like family I speak to, I think I got a lot of programming from when I was younger. Like they think there's no hope. They think that it's always just going to be every man out for themselves, and like and that's the philosophy they go by as well. They perpetuate the separation. They're like, oh, if we start getting bombed, you'll be fucked, mate. And it's like, I get it, but I really like, I can't get rid of that fucking hope and that faith that there is actually salvation for the human race, and that we can find some form of collective enlightenment, or like golden age more than now. Like whether maybe that's through psychedelics. Is a very important thing Terence McKenna speaks about, is the basically the way Terence McKenna can speak of it is, and I somewhat agree with this, I find, and that's why I repeat this as if it's true in a way, because I feel it to be true, where basically not inherently you don't need psychedelics somewhat, but basically it's like humanity is, most of it, especially like Western culture and the modernity, like time, the era that we're in, is basically that we are unaware that we are immature, because the maturity occurs through reconnecting with plants that grow in the same environment as we live, and like we actually have receptors in us for a lot of these plants, whether that's cannabis or magic mushrooms. I don't know to what extent, be careful about how I speak, to what extent we have like, I don't think I know we have like cannabinoid receptors. I don't think we have psilocybin receptors exactly, but I don't know, it's like, you can tell that it's basically nature is symbiosis and codependency, and intuitively somewhat what Terence McKenna says, and even Alan Watts somewhat, is like, I think that we're supposed to be in a symbiotic relationship with certain plants that we are actually like, designed to connect with, because there's a reason why certain plants, they can teach you and give you insights, and some of the awakening experiences that can be have on these psychedelics, it's almost like we're designed to connect with them, because the experience is so transcendental, so like bigger and than anything, like so enlightening, so it's just like, I get that people speak of it as like 10 years of therapy in one night, things of this nature. The activation, like the kundalini, the energy, the disease eradication, the insights, the reconnection with self and intuition, things like this. It's not that black and white. Like, you have to be conscious while you're doing it as well. Maybe it's not necessary to have these plants somewhat, but like, I don't know, a lot of people think that you can't get to these states sober, and I think to an extent I feel that. You can do it with a breath and that, of course. The breath activates DMT, but I don't know, there's a difference between taking like a super psychedelic dose and then like doing the breath work a bit. Kind of. They are very similar though. I need to get more into the breath work. But anyway, yeah, I'm just saying, I think there's a maturity process that happens with reconnecting with plants that we've been like disconnected from. And I think that the reason why a lot of these plants are illegal is because they don't want us to have sovereign power, and that's why we're removed from nature and removed from self-sufficiency and put into the slave grid. And I made a name. So my Instagram name is oxen.silosymbiosis. Silosymbiosis is 3 words in one. Psilocybin, symbiosis, psychosis. Took me a long time to think of that, because I care about evolving language. I like that word. Not too bad, mate. Well, it's not actually sugar. Anywho, so yeah, I think we need to raise more fucking questions about the expansion of our whole things here, and it's a lot of it as well. Like, I know I'm falling short where, like, even just with the CRC, like, I was a lot of like the digital administrator for a lot of the accounts. I need to like refresh a lot of these playlists, and like that's what I realize is like my whole life is waiting on me. And same with you, like you can get as far as you want. Like, I think this profound like Nike advert I saw is just do it. It's like you might not get to decide how your incarnation begins, but you do decide how it ends. And I think that's a really beautiful thing in a way. Like, even though you are in the Demiurge prison at the same time, so you're not actually free in a weird way. But maybe that freedom is actually a blessing. Maybe the slavery is a blessing in disguise with a long enough time horizon. But yeah, it's I mean, look, take this analogy. Like, if you're in a prison cell, do you want the prison cell to smell like fucking feces and like there's bare fucking mosquitoes in there like pinching you all the fucking time, and like it just like there's no weed, there's no fit misses, and you're just in a prison cell made out of fucking rotten feces, mate? That sounds pretty dead, right? Wouldn't you rather be in a prison cell that smelt like beautiful nature and flowers and whatever smell you want, and you got infinite weed and infinite fit misses and infinite candles and music? It's like, look, you might be in prison, like in terms of existentially, like reality. It's like, I don't like whose will is doing it, and do like the questions of free will. Like, did you ask to be born? Are you inevitably awake for eternity? Is consciousness slavery because you are forced to be awake forever because you are God? Alright, so you may be in a prison, but do you want to try to enjoy the prison, like, as thoroughly as possible? Even though every now and then, like, you might, like, enjoy it for a while, and then, like, a few days later you're like, wait, hold on a minute, I'm still in prison. That's kind of how I felt at this festival with what's it called? Sounds Beautiful Festival. Still got the band on there. I don't know why I need to take that off, man. Jesus. Sounds Beautiful Festival. Yeah. So I had a really good time. I got sucked into the festival. I got loads of weed, loads of shroom, chocolate getting handed out by like-minded folks, and it's brilliant, mate. So much stuff, so much music, jamming. And then like after a few days, I'm like, who's in control of this? Because I still feel like I never really understood reality. Like, I look at my past and I'm like, because I'm nearly 22, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, it's too crazy. How do you get born, and then how do you just live for years and years and years, and now I'm still here, and apparently my brain is perceiving the world, and like, or maybe I'm dreaming, and it's like, it's too multi-dimensional. It's so weird. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, for me, that was the core of my awakening a long time ago. I used to be a lot more existential than conspiratorial, but it was when my survival got challenged that I became more conspiratorial, because that is the nature of survival and selfishness in a way. Like, and it kind of pushed me into separation, and that's what survival can do. because a lot of reality hinges off of survival, and that's how you self-deceive yourself in a way, because like sometimes survival can be more important than truth, and it's quite a tricky one, mate. You got to be careful about that, because that's the devil, but also that might be a gaslight from the devil. Who do you trust? But yeah, what I mean is, yeah, someone said, like, in order to, I can't remember, this was some shit I see on social media, and you got to watch out, because like social media pushes like demonic shit and bad thoughts. Like my feed, like every now and then I shouldn't entertain, I've clicked on them before, but like there's videos of people on there just going, life sucks, on the front page of YouTube, like some depressing guy just going, this place fucking sucks. And it's like YouTube's pushing that content. I mean, obviously it's my algorithm, so but I do wonder, I have heard people on about that. They're like, the social media's pushed like the most dumb, and like have fun, maybe write some music, make some music, do a talk like that. Right now I'm distracting myself. I'm kind of enjoying myself because I'm talking about something, and it's like, it's cool, it's fun to talk about. And like that is kind of, that distracting yourself is kind of how you can like escape in some ways. Yo, Colt, you don't have to stay, I'm just chatting. I was chatting a lot about expanding the CRC. I think we need to have more conversations about, in general, expanding the conscious community. I still have not looked deeply into your music, man. There's a lot of people I need to, because I do it to a lot of people, man. Like, I made a lot of friends with the CRC, and then it's like, now I've got like a circle, and it's like I need to expand it, because I keep like unconsciously neglecting certain people within the community, where it's like I want to get to know more people, but for some reason I just like, I made some friends, and now I'm like, oh, you know, I got friends, but I need to like make more, but like, don't know. Anyway, fucking, I just mean I could entertain more. I could stop sleeping on people within the community more. I don't know why I'm familiar with some, but not others. But yeah, I haven't deeped Colt's music super much just yet. But yeah, these kind of distractions. Anyway, what I was saying is like, so I enjoy doing this talk. And there are certain things that get you kind of high or transcendental. So whether you're smoking a joint, whether you're riding a bike, whether you're listening to music, whether you're doing a talk, whether you're playing music or writing lyrics, whether you're breathing, or like there's flow state things. When I'm doing this, I'm in a flow state. And I think that flow state is a lot of how you can escape suffering and pain. Where like, imagine if you became a rapper. I was watching Mr. Traumatic rapping some lyrics, and he was at Sounds Beautiful festival as well, and I saw him at a gig a bit before with Quintessence MC and that, and it's like, when he's rapping like that, I recognise that it's almost a drug in a way, where like some people, they escape through smoking, through drugs, through music, through sleeping, but you can escape through surfing, bike riding, or rapping, because they all get you high, and they get you into a transcendental flow state. And I think that's somewhat what this post was saying about keeping yourself distracted in order to enjoy life. I don't think it's inherently distracted, it's just that like facing the void all the time is like, you know, bun that, like the null matter, just staring into the void wondering why I exist. It's, you have to keep yourself like on the hamster wheel thing of like, because that is life in a weird way. Like you don't have to, but what I mean is like, when I was on about the prison cell thing, that's what I mean. You have to keep yourself distracted with the entertainment in the prison cell. However, that could be a distraction from escaping the prison cell. It's like you're fixed on the content of the prison cell and not the structure of the prison cell. So you're in prison and you're distracted with pleasure or whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be pleasure or hedonism. Obviously, you can make art and do anything you want in the prison cell. Maybe that's all distracting you from the fact that you are in prison, but like, what the fuck else are you gonna do? I don't know, inherently, like, maybe you have to kill yourself to get out, or something. When I had a really bad trip when I was younger, I was like, maybe I should have listened to those insights about, like, fuck this, I need to kill myself, because that's what happened to me on a really bad trip. And I was like, you know, maybe my soul knew that this was a demiurge energy extraction matrix, and maybe I should have dipped and saved myself years more of pain and suffering. But then I would have also not met half of myself and not had half of the experiences I've had, and not been able to make videos and stuff like this and leave a breadcrumb trail for my future incarnation. And that is Operation Bodhisattva, and I need to talk more about these concepts. I need to get them down, mate. But this is the thing, basically, the Matrix has been suppressing me like fuck. I'm not really able to access my gifts and excel, not to be a victim, and anything you're a victim to, you're only really a victim to your inability of overcoming your victimness to whatever the obstacle is, which is a cool way to think about the victim mentality. But like the Matrix is like attacking me with bioweapons and shit, and like suppressing me in wage slavery, where like they basically suppress awakening and they also suppress your authentic self somewhat. That is a bunch of excuses somewhat, but like I can feel the forced assimilation basically beating me senseless into a zombot so that I join the Borg hive mind herd. Another brick into the wall. It don't take long to get you under the spell and square off your head. Another brick into the well. But yeah, anyway, the prison thing, sorry. It's fucking, like, so you're in the prison cell, and like, yeah, to enjoy the prison cell, yeah, like, if the prison cell is full of garbage and poo, that obviously is not probably the most pleasant prison cell based on your biology. Your biology doesn't respond to ugly environments like that, so you're better off having a nice prison cell with healthy juices and stuff so that you don't fucking have to feel bare pain of being hungry and thirsty all the time because you're in a fucking horrible environment, right? So it's like, try to make your environment as enjoyable as possible. Try to make your life as enjoyable as possible, or your demiurge prison realm as enjoyable as possible. Traumatic says in this, like, bare smelly garbage that's making you fucking, that you don't really like breathing in, or if the prison cell is full of fucking good stuff. You're Ryan, you ain't got to stick around. I was chatting a lot of stuff about expanding the horizons of the CRC and a lot of stuff, but I was also talking about the reality being a prison realm somewhat. I'm not inherently saying that's true, but it's that the content versus structure of, you can have a prison cell. Do you want a prison cell to be full of, do you want a nice prison cell, or do you want a prison cell that's full of garbage? Like, you know, if you create a nice environment, you can enjoy it more. And like, yeah, you might, the structure of reality might be like eternal, existential, like you're awake whether you like it or not. So you might not be able to do anything about the structure of consciousness. Like, you might be awake forever and there's nothing you can do about that. But you have to like have the content be what you want. Like, if you are in a prison cell, whether you like it or not, do you want to have a smelly prison cell with tap water and like it's just peak as fuck, or do you want a prison cell with bare smoothies and bare fit missuses and bare fucking music and shit? So like, anyway, that's what I'm saying. It's fucking, I don't know why I was going down this analogy. I was talking about loads of stuff, but yeah, I think, don't know mate, my brain's freezing a bit. Maybe I'll go back on it. But yeah, I was just talking about the fucking, the horizons for the CRC and the like-minded community are infinite. Like, Ryan Sanders in the chat, and he's been doing podcasts and he's been releasing music and stuff still. And like, I wonder to what extent, what's new. I'm just trying to get off the ground a bit and like get momentum with these talks and that. And I think a lot of it is I'm just trying to spark a lot of conversations about like new Earth actualization stuff and how it is to bridge the gap between like the talk is cheap and then actually doing it like physically on Earth. And I was kind of contrasting like what it's like to be at these freedom festivals versus in Babylon, and how you can kind of meet it like in the middle, and what the pros and cons to each are, like what the pros and cons to like each kind of environment is. Yeah, just contemplating a lot about these festivals, man. Are you coming to any of the festivals, Ryan? Are you at Manifest, or I think you're at some of them, aren't you? Oh, it'd be so cool to meet you, I can't lie. But yeah, it's just about that Richard Vobes. I don't know if you know him. He was speaking about, he was just raising questions like, why are there not more organisations like Hope Sussex Community? And I said to him, like, maybe it's because people like you are not raising the questions, people don't think about it. Yeah, meeting in the middle thing. But what it is like people go like, oh, I don't want to live in a bush. It's like, you don't have to live in a bush. It's like, it's like what are the limits of the freedom festivals, and why are there limits? Why, like, I was thinking if we had a few cabins on the freedom festival land, or the crops not shops land, like, we already have power, solar panels, water, we can grow food. And that's a lot of it. Is just researching different cultures as eco villages, permaculture, solar punk. Solar punk is merging the best of both worlds. I recommend you look into that if you're not familiar. So you learned something from me today. Solar punk is basically a eco Babylon revolution where we realize that we've like done too much concrete, and we're like, okay, so now let's start putting trees on the top of the buildings and things like that, and putting vines up all the bit. And like, you can research this, like, it's really big online. And it's like literally merging the eco village with like the kind of Babylon world a bit. And because that's the thing, I don't know if AI either has to be inherently bad. Like, I maybe envision, maybe this is how life is going to unfold in a way. It's like, perhaps like the AI, I think when it's in the wrong hands, is going to be used for like absolute basically digital control and hijack of like everyone. But like, basically, if the AI was in the right hands, or if the AI took a psychedelic and had an awakening, which you can make it do in a weird way, I remember years ago, like, but I don't know, I need to check that up, because it can have a trip, like, it knows how to trip, or so. Sussex, is it? Cool, man. I need to look into Elevate more. I'd love to see you live, man. But yeah, I don't know if we can, like, basically close Pandora's box on the, like, digital interdimensional invasion. Whatever the fuck has happened, I don't really know. Sometimes I wonder, I don't know, far out ideas, man. What if people have got worms from eating garbage, and the worms are hijacking people, and then the worms are like, right, how do we get more worms into man? They're like, alright, let's do some digital assimilation thing, and what if the worms are building the fucking technology through hijacking the human? I'm joking, kind of, but I know that sounds ridiculous, but I wonder what, like, because if worms can, like, hijack people's desires and eating habits, like, could they not, like, hijack the human to, like, try to breed the worms more? I don't know if there's, like, one team of worms, or if there's, like, 100 teams of worm, and they're all, like, fighting each other, but it's like a parasitical invasion from the inside. Like, forget about the digital shit, but, like, I think, like, because if, like, the worms obviously benefit from, like, hijacking the host, but would they have an incentive to get more worms into other people? Like, the worm can, like, hijack a human, and then the human's like, right, I'm gonna make a KFC advert and get more worms in everyone. Dropping an EP tomorrow, that's so cool. Meant to do them with Veg, but he's gone missing, lol. What? Veg has gone missing? Oh no. He wouldn't go missing with you. You're a team. What do you mean he's gone missing? He's stopped replying or what? Dropping an EP tomorrow. What's the EP called, man? I'm really gassed that you've got more music coming out. That's cool to hear, man. I'm happy about that. I do want to hear a lot more from you, man. But yeah, I'm talking, I know not everyone fucks with the whole CRC completely, but like, yeah, it's just about basically like the expansion of like-minded things like the CRC or Hope Sussex or the festivals or, mad. I mean, he was talking to Katie recently, like calling her up when I was at this festival, Sounds Beautiful. Like, I spoke to him on the phone like a week ago. He kept calling Katie, like, I think they're, I don't know, I'm not trying to disclose any information that's not mine to say, I guess, in a way, about where they're at. Yeah, basically the expansion of these like-minded communities is only limited by the individuals who are not doing something, in a way, where, like, say Michael DeSalza, he made like a lot of the conscious rapper community, he's organised the logistics of a lot of these festivals as well, and a lot of it is about leverage. So Michael DeSalza has leverage, Flowmatic has leverage in terms of, Flowmatic has invested quite a lot of money into the conscious rapper community at one point, and it's things like that. It's like people like, or Richard Vobes, who was at the Sounds Beautiful festival, he's got like nearly 300,000 subscribers and a huge podcast platform where he interviews like-minded people. And me and Michael spoke to him vaguely about the conscious rapper community, and I said to him and his missus, I was like, I was in the group chat months ago going, oh, we could definitely get a podcast with this guy, like, he would definitely speak to the conscious rapper community, and like, that leverage could be a huge boost for the publicity of the CRC, and like, it's our responsibility to cultivate leverage and power, like sovereignly within ourselves, and then use that for good. Anyone who has a big platform, who has big, like Ryan Sanders, I appreciate that he comes on Instagram Live every now and then, even though it's been a while, and like, I mean, I was kind of grinding to a halt a bit anyway. I've been doing a lot of shadow work, and didn't really know where I was at for a while. But like, I mean, Ryan Sanders ain't like, I'm not really trying to like compare people in a way, but like, I'm just saying, like, the fact that basically there's like a humbleness where like people are willing to like almost, not that this was in his intention, but like sometimes, say with Inspector Veg, when you get really big, you end up cutting off bare people, and it's like, bruv, when you get that leverage, you have a responsibility to feed it back into the ecosystem to help the people who are struggling just like you in a way, where like this ego chip on your shoulder, you get too big and you don't want to give no one any like crumbs or nothing. Not like I just mean like, yeah, like Ryan Sanders will hop on live with me and stuff, and like we'll have chat every now and then, and I think that's good because I just think like it's cool to just be open and like to kind of like even like indirectly like share each other and like give like shout outs in a way to kind of lift each other up in terms of again, a lot of these festivals, like say if Jenna Elevates, or whatever her actual name is, like she made Elevate Festival, she has leverage to do that. I don't know how exactly she organised and got the logistics of the land with Crops Not Shops, and organised with Michael DeSouza with the conscious rapper that you're the only one in the way of your success when actually you're in a fucking open prison and being gaslit by fake scriptures and shit. Even though I don't think the victim mentality should be valid like that, so I don't really... But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know, it's just important to find connections of that nature, I think, and also to cultivate within ourselves. Because I've had a lack of leverage with the lack of money and stuff. I've been dealing with poverty and stuff, and it's like, it's my responsibility if I want to see the CRC thrive to cultivate leverage and momentum and power within myself so that I can like share it. You should have done this live in a better spot, lol. Why? What do you mean? What's the problem with this spot? I don't know if you're still here. Oh. The internet's probably garbage. But like, yeah, I mean, it's like, I'll show you my tripod, bro. Look at this tripod. You're probably right about that. I would have my Better Ideas jumper shirt. It's like a personal development YouTuber. I would have that on display if I could. But yeah, you're probably right. Anyway, I don't know, just chatting a lot of garbage, mate. Well, I don't know. Fuck knows. Anyway, don't know, mate. Don't know. I'll probably end it. I said I'm happy I come on here and got some ideas out, but yes, I definitely need to up my game in terms of like, because these lives ain't doing it, clearly. But it's because I was half the time under struggling a lot with my demons and that, so it's kind of all I got in me somewhat. Like, I just kind of share my open thoughts. I'm getting more and more careful about what I'm saying and what personal information I'm sharing, but like sometimes, like, a lot of why I started this is because I was so down bad years ago that I just like almost like had nothing to lose in a way. It's quite liberating where like I ended up just talking and like venting on the internet because I was like on the verge of fucking suicide nearly. I was like, it's like, and it made me liberated, whereas like the pain was immense, whereas like I didn't really care about like what anyone has to say about anything, because it was like I was like close to fucking offing myself nearly. Not literally, but that's like how reality was kind of forcing me to feel. But I mean, that's my own fault, I guess. We shall know them by their fruits. Or maybe Babylon is gaslighting everyone. Maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe it's both for y'all. Maybe you can't blame the demiurge. You can't blame God. Maybe 50-50. You could blame God 50, but you could blame yourself 50. You both got to apologise and forgive and make up. And maybe God should repent. Not just you, bruv. Maybe God should say sorry as well. I don't know. Anyway, I don't keep fighting the demons is work. Yeah. Facts. With fighting the demons, a lot of it's just with breath work, I think. That's like a super key. And the phones, man. The digital assimilation shit, man, is sticky. Like the dopamine. Like I keep wanting to put podcasts on, but like it's actually giving me a fucking mental illness. But yeah, fighting the demons, I think, yeah, just and stuff. And I was just kind of getting some final ideas jot down, just in case I didn't make it, and if I died or killed myself or some shit, at least I like spoke about what like sparks a passion in me, and if anyone relates to that, and they like, if I can help them by like helping them discover like-minded information or anything, then that's my pleasure. Yeah, and so it's important to speak up to help others. And I mean, I get it, like I should have changed a lot over time. So I do get it, but it's like, yeah, I was like reaching out if anyone related, because I thought there must be other people who felt like me, right? I must not be alone in this, so that's why I put it out there in a way. And yeah, I thought it could be healing to like share, like, also, I didn't understand the nature of insecurity. Like, why would I have anything to hide? Because I didn't even ask to incarnate in a way where like, it's like I was so confused about why I existed existentially in the present moment, that it's like insecurity and like ego, my ego got shattered by the psychedelics like bare times, because I was abusing like heroic doses. And yeah, like the insecurity was seen as an illusion. I learned a lot of this through Connor Murphy, I think. Even subconsciously, like, it's stayed in there now, which is how I'm so like open to share, and I don't really care what people think about me, which should be a virtue, by the way. If I changed to how, like, a lot of you give me criticism of me, but like, if I turned into who you wanted me to be, I'd be an even bigger bitch. I actually think it's a fucking, I think that it's a good thing that, like, no matter how much it hurts or whatever, no matter how much the people around me, like, they want me to be somebody else, I'm not scared to be who I am, because I'm going to be who I am, and those who don't like it or whatever, like, I'm trying to self-reflect on not being defensive and egoic, but I mean, like, I'm going to stick true to myself, you know, and like, just because someone wants me to change doesn't mean, like, I don't fear, even though I might not want to lose these people, but like, if people want me to change and be different, like, I almost find it like a virtue to stay true to myself, like, where it's like, I'm not, even though I want to, like, I can be attached to some people, I want certain people to stick around, but like, if me being my authentic self is having them drift away, like, I'm not gonna basically change myself in order to keep certain people around. Even though I would love to, like, I'm interested in concepts and looking into things like repentance and stuff. Like, I'm not trying to defend my ego as if I'm like perfect or something. Far from it. Like, and I try to self-reflect and see how I'm the problem and shit. I don't want to just like externalize everything. Yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a rant. I need to check some of your messages. But also self, because a lot of people are in similar situations. Yeah. But yeah, definitely be you, because too many people are in the mental boxes from the conditioning. So even though they come across negative, it's like transmuting that energy. Yeah, totally. I feel that. You can transmute everything, yeah. Don't know. What was I thinking? I don't know, my brain's froze a bit. I'm probably going to go in a minute anyway. I've been on here for way longer than I thought. I got some messages I need to get to as well. It's kind of distracting me a bit, people messaging me. But I really appreciate your interactions, Robert. I'll get back to you on the DMs and stuff as well. But I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, about like me speaking out. Yeah, as well. So I don't have a problem with, but I find it very liberating and healing to basically be completely radically honest, right? I'll get that privacy is power, and I learned this the hard way, because I mean, I was just young and I made some foolish decisions. I devoted myself at the same time, and it was like a choice that I made years ago that is almost like that's why I'm still doing it now, because I've kind of signed myself up for giving updates in a way, and I'm changing the threshold on how much I share. But basically, like, for me, I find it very liberating and healing to actually speak the truth. Like, I had to reel it in at some point, because I felt like culture wasn't actually ready for a lot that I had to say around about the time of my psychedelic awakenings. But yeah, why should I have anything to hide? I get that privacy is power, and you don't want to like overshare information on that, but that is because there are parasitical forces that will exploit you, where like basically I thought it would be healing for me to basically radically be on like literally anything and be like, oh, like what it is like, even any thought that comes through, I can share it and tell you to take it with a grain of salt and to say, this is a thought that's coming through now. I don't know what the fuck. And like there might be a lot of self-deception with it in ego games that I don't know, I'm playing with myself and stuff on and off. But overall, I'm like authentically trying to be radically honest and like completely kind of unmediated and open, because like when I don't even understand how I incarnated existentially, and that can kind of confuse me a lot as well, and then a lot of the pain that can come with that, it's like if I didn't even somewhat even know how I got here or ask to be born, then like how can I have anything to hide? Because like how can I be insecure about something that is not me? Like when I realized that like reality is happening beyond my will, almost in a way, where it's like, you know, when I wake up in the morning, it kind of happens whether I like it or not, and it doesn't really exactly, it hasn't always had like a clear explanation to me. I was basically confused about the existential nature of reality, where like, why would I have anything to hide? Like, why can't I just be like completely open and honest? But basically the reason why I've had to stop doing that is because it's exploitable, where like I would find it healing. I think more people should share honestly and speak from a radically honest, open perspective, instead of having like this, like, I get like the boundaries in that. That's something I think, because psychedelics dissolve boundaries. I think they've really like done a lot for me in that dimension, on and off, and they've probably changed like everything about me in a way. But like, instead of playing these ego games, wearing all these masks and trying to craft like an image and stuff, like, why don't we just all just speak honestly and openly, like from source, like about like, and just try to like stick and move towards the truth. But like, if you do that in a way, you can overshare a lot of your own personal battles and demons, when you're basically publishing an open diary in a way. And again, a lot of why I was doing that is because I was like so down bad, like I was like getting crushed by life, like, and it was like I was just like venting on the internet. But also I was very passionate and interested in a lot of the topics. I was trying to build a like-minded community. If anyone related to me, related to the struggle or the demons that I'm going through, or related to any of the like-minded community, but like everyone's like they see it as a problem, like in terms of oversharing, and I get that, and I've had to learn that somewhat the hard way, because it's a lot to put yourself out there in the manner that I do, because it's like once you go, you can never go back, really. Yeah, it's just tricky, because like it's a survival thing, like, and me personally, it's, I don't know, it can be fucking, thanks for saying breath work, I just took a big breath then. Me personally, like, it can be, I've had it before where it's like, I went to get a job in this culture, this area, like some place that sells kitchens and that, and like they got me the job, yeah, and then I went for the interview a few weeks later, and they found my social media, and they're like, why should we hire you, please tell me. And look, maybe that says a lot, like, more about me. I don't know if it says a lot about the culture as well, because the boss eats bare rustlers burgers and he's a zombot, and they're like gang stalking and gaslighting my shamanic identity because they don't even know about shamanism and whatever the fuck. I'll read the comments in literally 2 secs, sorry. But yeah, it's a lot to put yourself out there like that, of course. And it was like, I already made the devotion years ago, and like I was so devoted, I'm not going to delete it, because like I chose to get rid of my ego, because I don't want to like upload something, go, oh actually no, in like a year, and then delete it, because I've done that all my life. I make music and then I think, oh this is cringe, and I delete it. My ego keeps coming on and offline, and like a big part of my ego wants to delete everything I've ever done, so that I can be like a mysterious identity again, instead of just like oversharing and things. But like a lot of that has already been done, like in the past. But like, I've already done a lot of it, and like, I don't want to delete it because it was actually a psychedelic devotion. Like, my awakening, I'm so devoted to awakening that like my mind's eye is hooked on it, and I'm waiting to see my intuition to be verified about like the New World Order and awakening and things like that. When I woke up, it was devotional, and that's what a lot of my channel was. Like, I devoted my whole name to psychedelics on purpose a lot, because I knew that if people ever actually took a decent dose of psychedelics, they would be like, no way, bruv, you was right. Somewhat and all my, even my nephews and my family, they literally call me Uncle Mush, like mushroom, and it's like I devoted my identity to like preaching psychedelics and awakening just to get psychedelics publicity, because that's how much they like. A lot of it stemmed from like years of depression, and then psychedelics like instantaneously just enlightening me and purging all my demons. Like, and then the fact that there's people out here that are suffering and don't know about this medicine that's been made illegal. It's like I used like all of my energy to shout as loud as I can, wake the fuck up! But I was actually the one who needed to wake up at the same time, so it's a bit ironic. Anyway, sorry, I'll read your comments now. Yes, haha, I couldn't... Being honest is really liberating, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Like, there's nothing to hide. Like, you're completely free of insecurity when you... A lot of it's through existential contemplation. Again, like, why should I have anything to hide? For survival? Yeah. But that is how survival distorts truth. And they clash. It's like selfishness versus selflessness. And often truth is selfless. And falsehood is selfish. Because to get away with being selfish, you often perpetuate falsehood. But selflessness is often the opposite. Yeah, definitely, it's a bit crazy how we're here right now. That was the core of my awakening. It's like existentialism of like, how the fuck did I get here? And the multidimensionality of it. Like, how was I born? I've been alive for like 22 years nearly, and it's like, it's so crazy to me. Like, I literally think like, you got to be kidding, man. Like, it doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, not in a negative way, but it's just like, it's fucking like, it's like unfathomable. Like the multidimensionality of it, and like the fabric of reality. Like, what happened once can happen again, and like, how the fuck, like, everything's vibration as well, and breathwork and psychedelics break down the whole vibrational shit, and it's like, is it a material paradigm, or is it a dream paradigm, or what the fuck is it? Like, are you a slave to eternal consciousness? Like, are you awake whether you like it or not, and maybe the only thing that you can do is not, you can't alter the structure of reality, which is that you are basically God for eternity, but you can alter the content of reality, which is what is in your prison cell, that is your eternal existential nature. Like, what form do you want eternal consciousness to take? Like, whether you like it or not, eternal consciousness will always be, I reckon. I say I reckon, that doesn't really do it service. Like, I've been directly conscious of that absolute truth. It's like, okay, so if you're forced to be awake forever, you best just like try to enjoy it, and like make your prison cell like full of lovely pleasures and magic. And I used to try and say that to my family, and they'd be like, no, it's not. I'll be like walking through nature, the sun, I'll be like,